switch. Alrighty. So it looks like we're back where we were
I can
before.
see apartments.
Those are on level 2.
Well, if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3. I can climb this.
I suppose.
I don't see many other options. It's pretty much a straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Even in low G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Addie. If you broke a leg, how would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom. Whoa.
Addie! Addie!
Oh, so I
Are you
didn't
okay?
notice that yesterday, but
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling things while I'm trying to cross.
So,
But it looks-
you're going to try again after that? You nearly broke your neck, Addie.
Yep, you're totally my mom.
Falling's kind of fun. It's like really short flying.
Please, be careful.
This is so cool.
Quiet, please.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Yikes.
This is
Hold
so
on.
exciting.
Breathe, Addie.
there we
Very
go.
good. Now keep walking forward. I can't watch. I knew you could do it.
You should really try running across next time.
I'm hoping there won't be a next time.
It'd be faster too.
Looks pretty empty. Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
2-week work contracts?
Or were people just visiting the spire? Some weird little lavatory.
They've changed much over the years.
Not really. I've seen weirder. I've seen ones where people sat on ceramic bowls of water.
If they pooped in the water, what did they drink?
Alright. So that's where we were yesterday.
Well, check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level?
I light up the pattern for you.
Another empty bedroom. People sat or knelt here.
This was a place for meditation,
This looks like a shrine.
to honor Grace.
That looks like her symbol.
The tube access. What? I don't know what tube access you're talking about. Did I miss something in here?
Where did these go to?
This entire settlement is connected to a vacuum tube system. From what I can tell, they are headed in one direction, the top of the spire.
All the rooms have these tubes. I don't see a way up.
Here's the code.
Not much here either. Travel packs.
So visitors brought in their own food.
They really didn't stay for long then. It's like they were on pilgrimages. Someone's made off with the mattress?
As a souvenir, maybe.
Here we go.
We still have one level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to explore.
I guess if you don't want to do the beam stuff, that's okay.
Here's the code.
I don't see any signs of unrest or violence.
And they left little behind.
What are these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback device to learn more. There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Hello?
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister. You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey, Grace. So I'm pretty sure I was the youngest person on the flight here, and the only Darksider, which was a bit of a surprise. My friends are still sending me halos on what to wish for, mostly stupid suggestions. And my parents made me promise to not waste it on something boyfriend-related, which I agree would also be stupid. So, here it goes. I wish for the lunar terraform to be finished. We're lucky enough to be in the dome, but thousands of kids are still stuck in the tunnels, and their families don't have enough money to take Earth trips. So they've never really been in a space wider than 3 meters without a pea suit, which really sucks. So whatever you can do to make that happen would be great. Thanks, Grace.
I'd hate to tell her, the terraform never happened. People came here to make wishes?
For grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
Oh, nice. As you wish. Discovered the first wish. Cool. Okay. So let's just...
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Here you go.
Someone tore this apart.
And took the pieces somewhere?
You're right. That's certainly interesting.
Oh wow, they really just destroyed this one. Oh, hey.
All right.
Hello, Grace. This is Madeline Torre. I'd hoped this trip would be my chance to connect with others who care about you. Now, I'm not sure anyone takes these wishes seriously anymore. So, that's my wish. Help me find someone. Someone who loves you as much as I do.
Huh, that's interesting.
She sounded lonely.
Figure this was left here as a token or an offering. Another way up.
Oh, I've got one. We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
This is level 3, Addie.
Let's look for evidence of Everett. What's the code?
Of course.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants.
There we go. Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
Let's try this one.
Hello, Grace.
say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
Hey, Grace. I really don't know why you would choose me. I guess no one really knows why they're called to the Spire, but I'm greatly honored. At my age, I thought
That's all I can recover from this one.
Sounds like Grace chose who came here.
That explains why Grace arranged all the flights to and from the Spire. She was in control of it all. Here you go. Try again.
That's it.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from Earth Station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
My wish? Oh, I'll tell you my wish. 10 years ago, we're on Venus at the Big Dome. Huge crowd. Olympia Mons favored 4-1, loses 5-1. 6 years ago, on Earth against South Union, loses 2-1. 2 years ago, South Union again. This time up north, I took the boys 3 months round trip. They go 90 minutes, no score. Extra time, no score. South Union takes it again in penalties. You want my wish, Gracie? The next World Cup is on Mars. I wish that Olympia faces South Union again and destroys them, like Space Me Out the Airlock humiliated. That would be a game. That's my wish. So how do I end this?
Olympia's still a crap team.
Perhaps Grace was rendered inactive by football hooligans.
Grace likely fostered sports as an alternative outlet for uncontrolled aggression. Of course people would come to her to share their passions.
Yeah, I feel that. I understand that guy. Come on. There we go.
Mark Anthony here. Been moving around, keeping my head down. Won't be long before they start blaming us for schmutzing up the tubes. sure which way this is gonna break, but found a quiet place to hang out while this thing blows over. Again, leaving this in case something goes sideways.
Here you go.
Perfect. Someone left a portrait.
I'm here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months. Who we could help, who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have, is to have her back. I want her back.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done for her.
Grace allowed her to voice her grief.
Hey, the tube system is no longer accepting wishes. If anyone knows how to reach Keeper Everett, please let him know.
Keeper Everett.
It sounds like keepers were Spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he stayed on after his visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator. Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on.
Here you go.
Great. Hey, what happened to the lights?
I believe Control has turned them off, Addie.
Not cool, boss. Control? Unbelievable.
Let me risk a little more light. Number 14.
Look how beat up this is.
It must have been done in anger.
I believe fear also played a part here.
Oh, they're there. I'm just dumb.
Logic will
Fine.
open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Hold your horses.
I've been instructed by Grace to make a wish. Not something big and altruistic, not for someone else, but for me. A real, honest wish, my heart's true desire. Honestly, this long flight to the middle of nowhere, months without my family, missing the harvest with a per diem that barely covers expenses, for what? Some mystical song and dance that makes us feel like we're somehow part of this robot theocracy. This whole thing, the temple, the hushed tones, the awe that people seem to show this place is ridiculous. My honest wish is to be left alone long enough to actually make some headway on the farm and pull in a decent crop.
It doesn't sound like everyone was happy to come here.
For Grace to understand what made people unhappy was just as important as knowing what made them content.
Why do you insist on defying me?
I'm starting to enjoy it.
Doubt you'll ever get this message, Grace. We've been waiting weeks now, and I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told his sermons are wonderful, and I hope he will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us. With your wisdom, you are missed.
So Grace would receive wishes and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect.
Here you go.
No.
That's not it.
Great. Only Grace.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
They were tracking something here. Terracycles, maybe?
They'd lost sync with Earth.
Or the Spire lost power. I don't recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
List of demands.
My demand is that you go to the elevator at once.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I feel like, there's been peace for like centuries now, right? But
there's no way to, like, prove yourself? You know? Nothing to fix or protect? Does that make any sense? I just want something, like, anything at all to happen. I guess that's what I wish for. You know, not like a war or anything, just something.
So this guy was just bored?
Like me.
I think this was the last room.
It is.
Finally.
Oh, hey. You call this archaeology? And I searched all the rooms. So that's 15. That's not actually all the canisters, though. Apparently there's... There we go.
I've been told that Grace is no longer receiving these messages, and the Keeper refuses to meet with any of the pilgrims. This is unacceptable. No human, Keeper or otherwise, is above Grace.
Now that's interesting. Wonder what that's about.
Okay. There's Karens in this universe, apparently.
You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right? Look at all the vacuum tubes. Must be one in every room in the settlement. Keepers must have been busy.
It's what Grace does with the wishes that should interest us.
This is a cool-ass elevator.
Did you like my little game?
You mean the game where you refused to help us?
I provided you with the opportunity to prove yourself. Is that not why you're here?
I'm an archaeologist. I'm here to do my job.
I don't think Addie enjoys having obstacles placed in the way of her goals.
We have arrived at our destination.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here. To listen to the Keeper's sermons, I guess.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
Cool.
Wish canisters.
These have never been used.
For recording wishes, maybe. They look pretty banged up. Pilgrims were building fires. Why would they do that? Someone went through a lot of food. People were clearly sleeping here. They must have dragged this up from the settlement. Guessing they were here for a while.
Judging by bedding and volume of food containers, 5 to 10 people might have been here for over 20 days.
Where is Grace? Well, I'm not alone in wondering.
I am here. It is the people who are lost.
It must have been written with charcoal from the fires. This explains all the canisters lying around.
Must have been fun. It would have been chaos.
There was clearly a lot of anger directed toward the Keeper.
Seems to be holding my weight. This must weigh a ton. At least a couple people worked together to break through here. So the Keeper must have stood here, addressed the visitors, gave his sermons. Can you imagine having the solar system coming to you for answers?
The Keeper was merely a vessel for the word of grace.
Then why not have Grace address them?
There is sometimes more power in what is imagined than in what is seen.
More camps. Another stage in the siege. Looks like the numbers really fell off here. Most gave up by now.
Or died.
No bodies yet. Death to Everett. Pretty clear who they blamed. This must be an attempted barricade. I'm guessing there was a lengthy siege. So, when Grace shut down, the Pilgrims blamed the Keeper. They demanded to see Grace, or thought they could reactivate her. The Keeper turned off the heat. Pilgrims built fires, dug in. They eventually got restless. Wish canisters started flying. As Pilgrims were breaking through the partition, the Keeper and his followers built up a barricade. We'll have to make our way through the barricade to learn how it ended.
Let them come. Cover the story of the siege. So that means that I have 29, no. 19 more to go. Yeah, yeah.
You'll want your light, Addie.
$27.80 to $28.30. These dates are from the old Julian calendar, which makes them very old.
1,200 years, by all accounts.
Can't make this out.
Oh.
This canister looks undamaged.
And it has been recorded on.
This has gone on long enough. There's nothing Keeper ever can do to meet your demands. You must return to your ships now, or we will be forced to take more drastic measures.
So this was left for the angry pilgrims.
What do you think more drastic measures were?
I don't know. But you might get to see that dead body.
Alrighty.
Second barricade. Looks like they got under this one. Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Long live Grace.
Apparently not.
Oxygen tanks. Everett up the ante. Cut off life support here.
Oxygen is almost out. We are going to make one last push today before returning to the ships. Grace, help us. We will win.
Hold on, Addie. The room beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
Alright.
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the lighthouse.
Is that where we'll find Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need only worry about the beacon, Addie.
This doesn't look operational.
Let me try it, Addie.
Okay.
Come on! It's ice again?
The force needed to break through the ice dam would only come from directing all power to control processors.
Which only I can do.
Great.
On one condition.
And what's that?
You shall have no others before me. Cast aside that device on your wrist and continue with me alone.
Whoa, hang on.
No, Addie.
But how will I communicate with you?
Mine is the only voice that resonates freely throughout every aspect of the spire. My words live within the vessel in which you stand now. They reverberate through the very walls of the enclave above, through the many devices and instruments at my control.
Yep, I got it. You're everywhere.
What if she needs another configuration for something?
She will not.
Is there another way to get to the top?
Of course. The funicular is merely the most survivable option.
Throw the device from the funicular window to take your place at my side.
All right. So, at this point, I need to set up another save. So, to set up more achievements later. So, that's what we're going to do.
So if I throw this away, you'll take me to the top.
It will be done.
There must be other options, Addie.
The emergency exit in the airlock may provide an alternative path.
This door leads out into the storm?
To your certain demise. Yes.
He's being dramatic. Your death is only marginally likely.
In theory, you could follow the funicular track up the mountain slope to the base of the lighthouse structure.
It would be dangerous.
So I give up my options by throwing away my comm, or take my chances in the storm?
It's an important decision, to be sure.
You must not do this, Addie. In taking this risk, you jeopardize all of humanity. Would you deny them my guidance and protection?
This is what can happen when you make ultimatums.
You and your ilk were distracting Addie from her true purpose.
We are providing Addie with a variety of perspectives.
Sorry, boss. I'm keeping my comm device.
You may not live to regret this, but countless billions in the solar system will.
The storm is...
Hello? Must be interference from the storm.
Addie,
Alan?
where are you?
I was right, Alan. I found Grace.
You need to return immediately, Addie. Your oxygen must be dangerously low.
I'm good, Alan.
You need to listen to me.
If I'd listened to you, we wouldn't have made it past Mars.
Wait, did you say Grace is still active?
Not exactly, but I'm working with her oldest service to try to bring her back online.
Well, one of these servers is actively blocking me.
I can guess which one.
You need to get back.
Alan? Alan!
You're not considering climbing across that structure, are you?
Do I have a choice?
There is also a path that descends into the canyon. It looks well worn and preserved over time, which means it's likely sheltered and safe.
And boring.
The funicular structure looks faster. And more fun.
Don't tease, Addie. The walk will give you time to think. And perhaps a chance for us to talk.
I'm not doing the high wire act in this storm.
Oh man.
How do you know where this is headed?
I don't. But it must eventually make its way to the other side of the canyon. Where else would it be leading?
certainly more sheltered here. So, what did you want to talk about?
Why is it so important that you activate Grace?
It's widely believed that recovering Grace would recover thousands of years of knowledge lost to the Dark Age.
So, they said that there's an etching on the right side of the thing. How am I supposed to see that? Like, is it blatantly obvious?
You've come all this way at great personal risk in search of knowledge?
Why not?
Without enough fuel or oxygen to go home.
I'm a committed academic.
What do you really want from Grace?
I'm not sure. You know, we don't let AI make any important decisions anymore. But most of the decisions that humans make are pretty awful.
You don't think AIs are capable of making bad decisions?
I just hoped Grace might be better. I don't have plans to return because I don't have anything to return to. And I can thank human decisions for that.
Like, I don't know what these etchings are supposed to look like. These all just look like rocks to me. Oh. Okay, well, when it looks like that...
This looks like an old colonial language.
That's strange. I don't recognize the dialect.
Translates roughly to Grace is love. This is Martian.
What does it say?
It says, let her rest.
As in leave her alone?
People wanted her to go away?
Or didn't want her disturbed. Were these to honor Grace, I wonder?
Or to leave one's mark for other travelers to see?
Vanity, at its most basic. Don't we all desire to leave something behind?
I'm surprised a formation like that could remain standing for so long. And you weren't familiar with the language on the stone carvings. These must have been left long after Grace shut down. People kept coming. Zealots, maybe.
Or curious explorers like yourself?
Hey, do you think I've been activated before? And hung out with other explorers and did cool stuff with them? But now I don't remember?
That's a pretty deep thought, pal.
Yeah. So you were saying that something happened to your family that you think an AI could have prevented?
It was a shuttle crash with a human pilot. There was an instrument malfunction during launch, and she panicked.
I'm sorry, dear.
It's okay.
Were you ever able to forgive this pilot?
Not quite yet.
I want to tell you my secret now. Confided with Mom. 17.
How much farther?
It's another 50 meters to the base of the lighthouse.
This wasn't so bad then.
You still have to find a way into the lighthouse. So there's still time to regret not taking the free ride to the top.
I didn't want to limit my options. What's this?
An emergency escape ladder. You could work out the override to bring it down, or see if there's another way up.
So I can bring down the ladder by doing something here.
Of course. You've proven to be clever enough.
The path keeps going. We could see if there's another way in.
So what's it going to be, Addie? Something that challenges your mind? Or something that challenges my respect for you?
The numeric override that lowers the ladder is 50 and can be represented in binary. I can give you the sequence.
I happen to know a bit about ancient computer languages. Turning each switch adds a different fixed value, starting with 1 on the far right and increasing by exponents of 2 as we move from right to left. So I just start mucking around until I get the number 50.
But you needn't muck around. I could just tell you the sequence.
No, maybe I want to muck around.
Very well. But I'm here if you require my assistance.
Got it.
You're so smart, Addie.
Compared to what?
Mess with the best, die like the rest. Overrode the panel. Alright.
Why wouldn't you let me help you with the override?
It's only natural to want to do things yourself.
It seems inefficient to make calculations that have already been completed and freely offered.
It's satisfying to do the work sometimes.
The door to the station airlock is unlocked and can be manually opened.
That's convenient. For once. There. Who needs control?
You took a foolish risk, Addie. But you have arrived at the lighthouse nonetheless.
Yes, well done.
And you may still be redeemed with the activation of the beacon.
Always with the beacon.
Yes, always with the beacon.
I need my helmet?
It's never a bad idea. Unless you want to preserve your suit oxygen in case of emergency.
The rooms ahead are safely pressurized, Addie. You're good to go.
Do we know if your processors are here?
The room directly ahead was the Keeper's living quarters. Grace processors are somewhere above.
Alright. So that's where we're going to stop for this one. Because I need to leave and stuff. So, hopefully, the next time I do this, I'll be able to finish up at least the first playthrough. And then go back and get all the stuff that I missed. Or... yeah, anything else that I needed. So, alrighty.